Hola amigos, welcome to the Sissy podcast, the Shall I Say It podcast, and I'm your host, Wangeshi Thuku, and here we shall be having candid conversations about our day-to-day lives, and also this podcast will serve as a safe haven to the millennials and the Gen Z to just let you know that the struggles that you are going through or have gone through, some of us have experienced and conquered, and that just calls to show you that you are not alone. So sit back and relax because you are going to have one hell of a ride here at the Sissy podcast. On the Sissy podcast, we'll be having our first segment as the karaoke segment to just liven things up and to just get you into the vibe of the day. Twashamanire hadokera fuine demoreu nawe onywete fagi twakinya kwanyu okera mamu wanyu ate twashamanirie hado kanithaine ate twashamanirie hado prayer group ine oe ni maheni eoe ni maheni eoe ni maheni. Yes, Nima Henny. Why do you gotta lie to your mom? By this, you see what I was talking about in the last episode on other people's opinions. You gotta lie to your parents and tell them you met your mans somewhere in a prayer group because you don't want problems. You don't want problems because our parents do not want peace. All they want is problems. Anyway, so our topic of the day today is boundaries. And I remember in our last episode on self-love, I mentioned slightly something to do with setting boundaries while you're getting to know yourself, right? Because you cannot have limitations in your life and say that you're loving yourself because people will just treat you the way they want to treat you. So we have healthy boundaries, and that is what we're going to talk about today. Yeah, without having limitations, people are just going to treat you the way they just feel like treating you. You get? So that is where boundaries actually come in. And we as human beings, we should learn to set healthy boundaries. And a person with healthy boundaries understands that making their expectations clear helps in certain ways, such as establishing behaviors that they expect people to have towards them and vice versa. And also having healthy boundaries, it might help you share your personal information appropriately. Like you're not sharing too much and neither are you sharing too little. You get? Just something enough for someone to be able to get the gist or to just drive the point home. Setting boundaries as well will help you value your own opinions because this is what you want and this is what you expect people to give to you, or this is the way you expect people to treat you or to talk to you, right? So setting boundaries is really important, and there are 5 types of boundaries that I would like to talk about today, and the first one being physical boundaries. Physical boundaries basically talks about your personal space, your privacy, and your body. And let me tell you, especially there for personal space, I don't know if you guys are like me, Ama. I don't know if your families are like me, but I know most of you will relate to what I'm saying. And when we were kids, your personal space ni kusema nini? As in, how are you in your parents' house? And you just lock yourself in your room and you'll be like, I'm in my room, I'm doing my things. As who? Or when your sibling cries for something and you refuse to give it to them and your parent asks you, why are you not giving your younger sibling whatever it is that they're asking for? And you'd be like, it is mine. And your mom would give you that look and be like, Haya, ni yako lini? Do you have money to buy it? Are you the one who bought it for yourself? If you're the one who bought it, well, then you can say it's yours. But for now, if I'm the one who bought it with my own money, you should give it to your younger brother. And it felt really bad because I don't know. Younger siblings are just terrorists. Sorry to say that, but they terrorize us, especially when they start crying. My last bones. You people, mlikuwa mnatupatia tu stress. I'm not gonna lie about that. So, yeah, the other thing is privacy. People never get the thing with privacy. You get? And for me, I really don't like visitors in my house. I just like my personal space. I like chilling all by myself, or just a few people who I'm really close with. And you'll get someone, I'm just around the corner, or I'm in your hood. Why don't I stop by? Why do you want to stop by? Did you tell me you're coming? Did we have a meeting together? Ama, we had planned that you're coming. Do not come to my place. If we have not agreed to meeting up, please. You just come do whatever you were doing in my hood and go, because Wangeshi was not your business when you were coming to my hood. Cindy, I know most of you can admit to that, because what is this behavior of people up in your hood? So yeah, and our parents, they gave us some serious character development whenever our siblings would cry. But anyway, it's life. And now, as grown as human beings, we are able to set those boundaries of, these are my things, and this is how, if you need anything from me, have some courtesy to ask for it or borrow it. You get? Because I personally, I really hate it when someone feels entitled. Because you're my sibling, you feel entitled to taking things and not asking for it. And many of the times, especially our immediate family members, do not get that point. That yes, you're my sister, or yes, you're my brother. You are not entitled to my things. If you need anything, ask for it. Just be courteous enough to ask for it. And sometimes you will find yourself, or you and your sibling, getting into fights because this one did not ask for something, or this one just went ahead and took my things without asking, and it's really messy. So once you set that boundary and be like, I do not want you to touch my things, or this is where I want my things to be courteous enough to respect that this person has a reason as to why they have said that, or they have set those boundaries. Do not feel entitled to people's things just because you guys are related by blood. And I've said that because it really pisses me off when someone does that to me. I really don't like that. And yeah, if you know you're the kind of person who does that, stop that behavior today. Stop it. Just stop it. The other thing I want to talk about when it comes to boundaries is sexual boundaries. And I feel this, even just when I was just reading about it, I kind of felt triggered reading about it, because this is one of the boundaries that I feel get really misused, especially for us women. And I'm talking about women because I can't talk about men. I'm a woman. So when I talk about women, do not feel biased. Do not feel like I'm being biased. I'm just talking about something that I myself, I can relate to. And sometimes you'll just be walking, minding your own business with your earphones, and some guy will just walk to you and just make some really nasty, disgusting comment. And he will laugh. He will look back and laugh and not expect you to do anything. And when you actually go back and ask him, hey, why did you say that? Or why did you do that? He will go ahead and even insult you and be like, bro, why do you feel entitled like that? Or why do you feel like it is okay for you to do that and for me not to come and call you out for whatever it is that you did? Or you'll just be walking around, someone just comes and grabs you, or someone just comes and gropes you, and they don't want you to do anything. And when you call them out, they can even beat you, you know? So please, for the men and for the men who don't call out their friends who do these behaviors, let's do something different, you know? We do not want to be touched in public. We do not want to be grouped. We do not want those nasty comments that you make towards us. We do not want that. Like, I think we have said it so many times, and those are some of the boundaries that we have set, but people don't seem to respect it because they are women. What will they do? You know? And some people will also feel like that is what we want, but in the real sense, we do not want that. Yeah, I'm speaking on behalf of very many women, and I'm saying this because this is a discussion we normally have. And everyone else who I have this conversation with, they will always say the same thing. We do not want those things to be done at us. It is uncomfortable and it is really disturbing. And since we have said we do not want it, just respect that. Those are the boundaries that we have set with our body. Those are the boundaries that we have set on our sexual part of life. Yeah, if that is what we want, we will communicate it to you, but for now we do not want it. So let's do something different. Let's just do things the way that they're supposed to be done, or behave the way we want other people to treat us. Okay. Intellectual boundaries. Have you ever come across someone who gets pissed off because your thoughts and their thoughts do not align? How crazy is that? And you cannot get mad because my thoughts and my beliefs are different from yours, because we all come from very different backgrounds. Some of them might seem the same, but there will be something different about it. The way we just think about things, or the way we believe is just different. So why should you be mad that I feel a certain way, or I think a certain way about certain things? Does it even make sense? And why am I not being given the privilege to just be who I want to be, or to just think about whatever it is that I want to think about? You get? Are we together? So these are some of the struggles I have encountered when it comes to boundaries, and someone will even go to an extreme of telling you, no, you cannot think like that because of 1, 2, 3, 4 reasons. And I'm like, why? That is how I feel things should be done, or that is just what my mind is telling me is right. And someone will be so pissed off that I actually aired out even my thoughts. And let's just be fair to each one of us, and we know that we keep in mind that we all come from different backgrounds, and whatever thoughts and beliefs you have, you are okay to just have them, and there's nothing wrong with that. And there's also nothing wrong with both of us being right, even though our thoughts are different, but both of us can actually be right. No one has to be wrong, no one has to be right. Both of us can actually be right, and both of us can actually be wrong. So yeah, we take it as it is, we learn from it, and we move forward. Okay? Yeah. Emotional boundaries. This is just how someone feels, how comfortable people feel about opening up about whatever it is that they are going through. And I can choose to open up to this person and not open up to this person, even if they are my friend, just because maybe I feel this person understands me more, or this other person who I'm not opening up to is just being judgmental. But in a friendship group, some people will feel left out, or even some people will feel some type of way about it, because, oh, why are you not opening up to me? I thought we are friends. Sijui nini. I should get to choose who I want to open up to, and not because we are all friends, because the way you will treat whatever it is I'm telling you is different. You can be judgmental about it. You can be open-minded about it. And the way you will react to whatever it is I have told you is just what is going to make me consider whether I will tell you something else that is sensitive to my life or not. And it is perfectly fine. There is nothing wrong with that, by the way, you guys. Some of these things are just okay. I just feel that we just tend to complicate things for no reason. Now, why should you get mad because someone does not feel okay opening up to you about certain things? Because you also have that one friend you also open up to, and you don't open up to the other one. So it is fine. It is fine to open up to one person and not to open up to the other person, to your family, to your friends. And yeah, you setting that boundary and just letting that friend or your family member know that this is how I feel, and me feeling this way is because of 1, 2, 3, and I wouldn't want you to do this because it makes me feel a certain way. Don't go around bashing them and calling them sad or just weak. They are telling you about their emotions or their feelings because maybe it made them feel some type of way and it did not sit well with them. So take that with consideration and just be a better person. Okay? Don't go around bitching around saying Nani is just weak, Nani is just I don't know how, because their life is not, their feelings are not the same or aligned with yours. I hope that makes sense. And to my final thing is the financial boundaries. The way I choose to save my money, loan you my money, to be honest, it's entirely my business. It is entirely my choice. And maybe some of you will not agree to that. But if I'm the one who's going out there to look for that money, to work for that money, and to bring it back home, it should be my choice on how I choose to use it. And it's really sad that sometimes we get to our families. Let me give an example of families. They are the ones who get to choose how we're going to use our money. And you'll find a family telling someone who's doing really well in life that you're the one who's going to be paying your siblings' school fees. You're the one who's going to be paying this. If I'm not the one who has chosen to do that, why should it be that you're the one who's doing it for me? It is not right, because I tend to think it causes a financial strain to people because maybe they have their immediate family member, their wife and their children, and then you're here telling them, oh, they're the ones who should be paying your children's school fees, or they should be doing this with their money, or they shouldn't be doing that. Why? Who gave you that right? Who gave you that right to come and tell me what to do with my money? Because if I haven't told you what I'm doing with my money, how do you know what I'm doing with my money? And why do you feel that my money is just laying there in the bank doing nothing? So if this person has not told you that they want to help out, and you're not even asking in a respectful way, you're actually demanding it, it's really not right. It's not what you're supposed to do. And people should set boundaries. Like tell them, no, I cannot do that because of 1, 2, 3, or no, I can't do all that. I need someone to help me or someone to chip in. We can do this 50-50, or we can do this 70-30. This is what I'm going to be doing at the end of the month. I'm going to be sending this amount of money at the end of the month. And let it be known. Set those boundaries. Don't let people walk over you because they feel you have money, and then you're just there suffering. Your wife, at the end of the day, she's pissed off at you, or your husband is pissed off at you because all the money that you have has gone to your family or has gone out to help other people, and you've left your family there high and dry. So it should be 50-50. No side has to struggle. No side has to suffer. Okay? And if someone has set those boundaries, be a courteous human being and respect that, because that way things are going to move on really swiftly and there's not going to be any squabbles. Yeah, it's just that boundaries are just good to help things move and to just let people understand where your foot lies. And don't be scared to set your boundaries. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way. Because if you don't, as I said earlier on, people will treat you the way they want. People will take advantage of you. And people are good at that. So Keep that in mind. Set your boundaries physically, emotionally, sexually, financially. Do not be scared to do that, because that way it's going to help you as a person grow, and it's also going to help you know where you really stand or what you really want. And peer those to small heartaches of, oh, Nani is treating me this way, I don't like it. They will reduce, and eventually they will stop, because this person will be able to know that this is not what you want. And remember, before I close, set these boundaries as early as possible. Do not wait until, oh, maybe this thing has been going on for 5 years, and then you have communicated them to someone, and someone tells you, oh, now you're supposed to set boundaries. Stop it. It has gone on for too long. How are you planning to stop it? And this person is used to doing whatever it is that they're doing to you that you don't like. So set those boundaries as early as possible. Repeat them to these people. Communicate them to people. If you see someone is stepping out, put them back in line. This is what I said I do not want, and this is how I'm going to do it. So yeah, that will help you in moving forward. Okay. And for you to maintain those boundaries, there's some things that you're supposed to do, and that is what I was talking about. Setting them early enough, communicating about them. Another thing that I feel should be a way to help you maintain those boundaries is taking control of your social media. Just know what you're supposed to post or what you're not supposed to post. Filter some of the things that you say that you feel might affect people out there when you say them, because you never know. Social media is such a big platform, and it is such a good way of communication and expressing yourself, but don't do it. Don't overdo it, because you might hurt someone in the long run, or something might come out wrong the way you didn't want it to. Also, while setting boundaries, and also to ensure that you have maintained those boundaries, make sure that you are your biggest cheerleader. And I love the fact that I started off this podcast with self-love, because there are so many things that bring us back to that. If you do not love yourself, you will never be yourself's cheerleader. You will never be able to set these boundaries. You will never be able to maintain these boundaries, because people will go out of their way, sometimes to overstep them, to just see how much or how long it's going to take you to break. And then is when they're going to have so much happiness, because they know that they can break you and they have control over you. So be your biggest cheerleader. When you set a boundary, make sure that when people don't do it, you have talked to them, and pat yourself at the back and be like, yeah, you're actually doing good. Communicate to them. Make sure that they know that this is what you want. Always remind yourself. Always just be your biggest cheerleader, Cheer yourself up all the time, because, yeah, it is not easy to deal with human beings every now and then, especially if you're someone who has boundaries. Okay? In this episode, we're going to talk about boundaries. We just get the word boundaries for so long. The other thing is recognizing boundaries of others. Remember, we said that a person who has healthy boundaries establishes what they expect from people, and vice versa. So you also have to accept the fact that other people also have boundaries, and do not overstep them. That's all I had for today, and thank you so much for being a part of the Sissy fam by tuning in. Be sure to follow us on social media, Instagram at Sissy_podcast, YouTube Sissy Podcast, and on streaming platforms Sissy Podcast. You can share your thoughts by sending voice notes on Anchor or by engaging with us on Instagram. So be sure to like, comment, and share. And until next time, ciao, adios.